bonus round.
And now we're back.
Hey.
Bonus round.
Psych. Bonus round. All
Bonus
right.
round is
I
different.
know I couldn't get away from this.
Bonus round is different.
Okay.
So bonus round, we've also changed bonus round this season.
Oh.
So the questions that you were asked, you are from Val.
Okay.
Okay.
For the boss battle.
Those are the
So-
questions that she asked us.
Interesting.
So now in the bonus round, you have to come up with a few questions that you like. It could be out of something random or something, but you ask us and we answer those questions, and then the next guest has to answer them also.
Oh my gosh, this is so weird. I have to think of questions now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here I was coming here just thinking, okay, I'm going to answer a bunch of questions and have fun, and now
yeah.
here at the end, just like,
It's
oh,
like,
jeez, what am I
it's
doing?
not fun anymore.
This is no longer fun. This is torturous. But you are more
And
ask us
it doesn't
questions.
have to be anything.
It doesn't have to be hard hitting. It could be. I mean, we literally asked why you hate boats. Like I don't like nothing.
The question is, what do you guys feel about Pokemon? How familiar are you with it?
Okay.
Because the answer I'm going to guess is probably pretty low.
The last time I was really into Pokemon, I think was at season 3. Was 3rd generation.
Which would have been Ruby and Sapphire.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
That was the last time.
Which, actually, funny enough, my Halloween costume this
What
year,
was it, Ruby Sapphire?
it was Magma. I was Team
Really?
Magma. I have a picture on my phone. I'll show you here in a little bit.
Freaking nerd.
I know, thanks. My question, though, was going to be Squirtle, Bulbasaur, or Charmander? Which of the generation...
It's Squirtle.
No, it's Squirtle?
It's Squirtle.
Squirtle all the way?
I always pick Squirtle.
See, that's where you're wrong. Because objectively...
A lot of people chose Charmander.
No, Bulbasaur.
See?
Bulbasaur is the most effective Pokemon to have in the entire game because it is so useful against every gym up until about 4. Because that's when you have the grass type. But at that point, you already have encountered enough Pokemon that you could counter grass type.
Okay.
You have rock, you have water, and
That's
electric,
true.
and then you have electric, which grass isn't, spectacular against electric, but it's not also vulnerable to it.
Yeah.
It's not super effective. It's not very effective. It's just kind of a blasé. And you can also learn. You might have been able to learn Dig at that point. I think Bulbasaur can learn Dig.
Possibly he can.
I don't know.
I know
It's been a while.
War Turtle is more used to learning Dig. I was always a big fan of Bulbasaur because I liked cool Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur is one of the best Pokemon.
Well, cool Bulbasaur. Glasses Bulbasaur. Like, by
I forgot about
far.
that one.
By far. Scooter's not part of this, by the way.
Well, I was asking about Gen 1 starters, which you might be familiar with. Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle.
Yeah.
I know those.
Yeah, you know them.
I know them.
If you could have one, though, as your starter Pokemon, which one would you choose? You don't have to know anything about the game. You could just know what they look like.
Because I'm more of the card
Lizard?
game guy because
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember when the card game came out
Yeah.
and then
Technically-
Wizards took it and then it went back and I was kind of part of
So,
remember that what was that 1999 something like that?
96.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
No,
just
wait.
remember that.
It was 4.
No, was it 4? I was going to say, because Japan, I think, is 92. I think America's 94.
Okay, because I love the format.
Yeah.
And I love how it's easily accessible and playable and still has some chance in it,
Mm-hmm.
the
Ooh,
flip of the coin.
96. You were
96.
right.
The
Look
flip
at
of the
you.
coin and all that stuff was kind of nice and was kind of fun. So when it comes to character-wise, I'm not really hip on the characters.
That's fine.
My son researches
down
the
with it.
characters.
Yeah.
Like
Same.
he has a book.
When they
Same.
when they started doing like ice cream cone Pokemon, I was like, well,
Vanillish is a great Pokemon.
okay, it's an ice cream cone. I mean, we can't say
It's
much.
not a great
because
design Pokemon, but it's a great
We can't
Pokemon.
say much because Generation 1 had magnets.
Yeah.
So,
So it's actually very interesting. The person who first designed the first Pokemon still works for Game Freak and Nintendo,
my gosh,
and
good job.
still helps with the design. He has the final say on every Pokemon.
That's perfect.
I know.
I love that.
It's I forget his name, but it's brilliant because in the new Pokemon, the newest generation,
Yeah.
there's actually some really creative, really good Pokemon that I think are the best.
I have to check them out.
Real quick, Scooter, you grabbed a different cup with each beer.
I, know,
I didn't mean
right?
to on this one. I can't find my old cup.
It's here somewhere.
He grabbed a different cup. It was in the kitchen. So your question was which Gen 1 Pokemon?
Which Pokemon?
Oh,
which
Gen 1.
Gen 1 starter.
Yes.
Would you have as your? Would you
Yes.
pick as yours? If it were real and in this world.
Okay.
still choose Bulbasaur.
So
I
as
love
like
Bulbasaur.
your actual Pokemon, like in physical form.
If you were 11 and starting your Pokemon adventure and you were given a choice between Charmander, Bulbasaur, and Squirtle.
11? I'm 46. I would start a Pokemon adventure
No, you're right.
now.
No, absolutely. So would I.
In real life.
I'm just saying that in the lore of the game, you're 11.
But
let's see. Other questions.
Fun's not just for kids.
Fun is not just for kids. Yes.
Yes, it is.
That's a great question.
That's why I'm still a kid.
Lord of the Rings.
Oh no.
Or the Inheritance Cycle.
What?
Aragon.
Oh my god. I don't know.
Because I have a personal opinion on that one.
Where are we? Okay.
So the Inheritance Cycle is the the first book was called Aragon. Yeah.
What about The Hobbit? Where does this take place in here?
Oh, The Hobbit obviously is a continued part. It's part of Lord of the Rings. I mean, I'm talking about
that's
the full
that's
scope
why I wanted to make sure where The Hobbit.
We're talking
stood.
about Hobbit, Fellowship, Two Towers,
Return of the
King, and Silmarillion. If you really want to get that esoteric,
no.
If you've ever attempted to try to read that 1,000-page prose, by the way, it is poetry. It is 1,000 pages of poetry describing.
The dude had a brain.
The dude had a brain that no one else can have in the world.
Ever.
It is wonderful. I honestly,
he's the Freddie Mercury of brain.
Oh, that's
books.
good.
He's the Freddie Mercury of fiction fantasy writing.
That's right. So what was the question? Is it a this or that? Or
your preference. I mean, obviously, I may not be asking the best of people here about that question, but it's kind of like when you think about fantasy. And obviously, there's not all these aren't the two books you necessarily go to.
Right, that's what I was.
But I was thinking both kind of like involving elves and orc-like creatures and stuff like that, like that are kind of high fantasy involving dragons and all this fun stuff. I think that you can try to get a good comparison on which one do you prefer, because it might also. There are a particular group of people who like Aragorn and people who like Lord of the Rings more.
I have to choose the Lord of the Rings sides. Mostly just because of The Hobbit.
Yeah. 60 pages and a full adventure? Hell yeah, sign me up.
Yeah, but I will not choose the last two films.
The movies?
Okay, I'm not talking about the films.
I know, but if
because
but
the
if
Aragorn movie is the worst thing in existence, there's no way you can compare them.
But The Hobbit...
But I just want to make sure.
Remember the animated movie?
Oh, yeah. Oh, beautiful.
Yeah. I grew up on that.
Yes.
So... I love that. Like there's a place in my heart for The Hobbit.
Yeah, that's
the whole like just.
Arguably, those movies, those animated ones, are better than the live action ones.
Yes, I will say the first live action Hobbit, I was down. I was 100%. The last two, I was. The last two, they didn't need to do all that.
They made a 2-page battle scene.
A movie.
100 minutes.
It was boring.
It was awful. It was excessive. It was stupid. It ruined everything.
And I'm not like an American film enthusiast where everything has to be Michael Bay and battles. I'm more like I just like it has to make sense.
Yes.
Like.
Don't add a love interest.
Some of my
Don't create a character for a love interest. Get the fuck out of here, please.
Started on the little love interest side quests of the DC universe that drives me crazy. But so I think that's where it goes. I was like, because I love certain French films and a lot of Korean movies and films. But that I just felt it. What were you trying to do in the Hobbit movies? That I was so frustrated, and I think I finished the first one, and then I tried to watch the second. I was like, I just can't. I'm so bored with so much dialogue that can be read, and I'm not a reader. I was like, I'd rather read this than listen to an actor say it at this point.
Valid.
Yeah.
That's how I felt at that point.
Fair.
Yeah, the book is way better because it's again 60 pages long, and it tells the entire story all at once.
But it tells it so
perfectly.
It's okay.
Yeah,
beautiful. All right, third question. Hit it.
So I have two. I'll let you pick on which one those are because I like them both. The first is, and you don't have to answer them just yet. Let me
answer them.
You can answer both. It's fine.
Say both first.
Let's say both first, and then you can pick them, and we'll go back and debate the other.
I'm ready.
First is: would you fight 10 duck-sized horses or 1 horse-sized duck?
Okay, real quick. My friend, she started like seeing Guy and all this stuff, And I was sitting in the. I don't know if I was sitting in the room. No, I was just texting her. We were in a group chat with 3 people. And I was just like, okay, you need to ask him an important question. And it was that.
Yeah, it's a good question.
And she's just like, why? And I'm just like, just fucking ask him. And I don't remember what the answer was, but I was like, all right, I judge him more now.
Yeah. The other question is, between these 2 superpowers, which would you take? Flight or teleportation?
Teleportation.
Really?
That's me.
Okay.
Teleportation.
I feel like because, and here's...
no, sorry. I think I may have got that question wrong. It's supposed to be either flight or be able to breathe underwater. Because flight and teleportation are very similar.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Flight or be able to breathe underwater? Flight?
Because you can get out of the water. If you can fly.
I'm going to have to say flight.
No, because... and the reason I
But
chose...
you can go explore the depths of the ocean.
I'm cool without that.
Yeah.
Because I think there's
I have
certain
a
things
boat.
on this planet that shouldn't be explored by a human.
That's very true.
And that is one of them. But when it comes to teleportation and flight, I feel like, you know how I work, flight as a human being, I feel is more obtainable with our mechanics.
I can grow
teleportation
gills.
takes a little bit more work. So I feel like if I got
Kevin
teleportation
Costner from Waterworld.
I can turn it back
Paper.
and figure out flight from my teleportation.
Okay. Interesting.
That's a real I think about that a
Flight
lot.
or breathing underwater? Those are
Breathing
the 2
underwater, I'm not
questions. I don't know which one you guys want to post to the next person.
I like the
I like
flight
them
or
both.
breathing
But
underwater
the duck one, I want
The duck one, we're going to ask someone else.
No,
Because that's a
easily, though,
classic.
It's a great
for
one.
me,
Classic.
one horse-sized duck.
Really?
Absolutely.
God, they're
A
horrifying.
horse-sized
They're
duck? Are you
awful
kidding me? You know
creatures.
ducks bite, right?
Yes, but
You
that's
know
one.
ducks are literal the worst creatures in existence, only matched by dolphins.
Geese. Well, dolphins rape, but...
I mean, so do ducks.
Have you ever been
Oh,
bitten
yeah.
by a horse?
Yes.
Me
Yeah,
too.
but
They're
can you
not fun.
imagine a little tiny duck-sized horse? I will punt
Duck
the
have
shit
teeth.
out
Yeah,
of them.
that's,
Ducks
abs-
have very
that's
sharp
absolutely
teeth.
true. I can imagine one.
Can you
duck-sized
imagine
horse.
just going around
But
kicking
he
a bunch
said
of tiny
10.
horses? Huh?
10
Yeah.
duck-sized horses.
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, but you can kick those away easily.
No.
10, wait,
Have
10
you ever been-
duck-sized horses?
Yes.
Why did
Yeah.
you say that?
10
I wasn't
duck-sized
listening.
horses.
I was thinking of the 100 duck-sized horses.
That's 10.
No.
'Cause I think like 100 duck-sized horses is a formidable force of its own. It's a force of chaos.
like
It is
the ocean.
uncontrollable. 10 is more equivalent to a single duck.
No, see,
horse-sized duck.
if I have one thing that I can
I would
battle,
kick them.
if I could do one thing that I could battle,
Dude.
I can do that.
It'd also kick you back, to be honest.
But
that would
10
hurt a
of-
lot.
But 10 of them? 10 of anything is overwhelming. 10 of
Yeah.
anything.
It really is, to be honest. I used to work with kids.
Anything
Fuck.
over 4,
Anything over 2.
yeah, you can't control that.
Anything over 1.
So
Just
you
like
have-
anything
at
over
this one you
0.
have-
God, everybody's
ducks.
too much.
Ducks are not small. Ducks are like
Introverted.
this big.
Duck-
Ducks are this big.
Have you ever seen a duck?
Born and raised in Montana, we hunted ducks.
Those are
I'm-
different ducks. I'm like, duck.
What?
Yeah,
This is
ducks
like
aren't that big. I mean,
goose.
ducks are big, but they ain't that big.
Yeah, I'm just like,
10
what?
of them.
10 of
with
them.
hooves.
And
Honestly,
and
I
bite.
just want to see ducks with hooves.
yeah,
I
to be
do
honest,
too.
it'd be really funny.
No, I just
Quack.
I get overwhelmed with quantities.
See, what you,
I think that's me.
so what you do is you get a skateboard, and you lash them all together with, pulling the Jack Sparrow, you using your back hair or whatever it is to bind them all together,
Yeah.
and then just have them pull you. And you have this chariot on a skateboard of 10 duck-sized horses dragging you along. There's
down.
nothing more baller than that.
I'm game.
See, like if you
See, but
if
you have the
bring a
15
duck,
charisma.
I love how
That's
you're
true.
genuinely thinking about that. You're like, damn, that's a good
because
idea.
you can't
That's
you
a
can't
brilliant
you
idea.
can't get a duck to submit to you because they are
But a horse you can.
yeah. Ducks are awful
No,
creatures.
ducks are just random.
And if honestly, if
They're birds.
if
They're
I was
birds.
faced
What are you
with
trying to say about birds? No,
Birds birds don't have a sense of
compassion.
they
I
really
want.
don't.
I want to meet a
Not
compassionate
like
bird.
I think
comparatively they do.
I
Yeah.
think it's, but that's kind of that philosophical. Like, are they just
Real?
mimicking
Oh.
what you're doing, or do they actually feel that? And I think birds are still one of the last things to prove that they actually have feelings.
Yeah.
It is one of the last ones that we can't learn.
Birds aren't-
dogs we've learned, cats we've learned. There's
Well,
certain animals,
Cat. Yeah.
but birds we can't.
Because
apparently-
birds aren't real.
Yeah. Oh my God! Dang it.
There is a program.
Yes, I
It's-
love it.
it's a
I
thing.
I
That-
saw
birds
somebody
are real.
wearing
The
that
birds.
shirt the other day on my way home from Los Angeles. I'm like, I wanted to high-five him so badly. But that's not what you do when you see someone wearing the birds aren't real. You just say, birds aren't real, and just kind of walk it away.
Yeah. Jungle Bird, the Tiki Bar in downtown Sac, they have it posted of birds aren't real.
This is actually, the birds aren't real conspiracy had a Instagram for Sacramento. Don't know what happened to it. They got too close to the truth. That's exactly what happened.
Because birds aren't real.
They figured out why birds aren't real and why, and especially here in Sacramento, there's a lot of, like in Los Angeles, there are a lot of like parrots flying about. You know what those are? Drones.
I can see
And
that.
real quick, on that note, I feel like we should end this.
Yeah,
Seriously, there's a whole. We could have a whole
Birds aren't real. They're drones. Okay.
Birds aren't real. They're drones. Listen up, sheeple. Listen to this podcast.
We got a spin-off podcast, conspiracy
birds
theories.
Yes, I'm so down for that one. Actually,
I would
host you with it.
Into that.
So, Valerie, if you're listening, if you listen to this, because you will be, you love conspiracy theories.
Oh my God,
that would be so much fun having Valerie with conspiracy theories.
Let's revive it.
Freaking wild.
I hope you listen to this.
How else would you do it?
Let's revive this, Val. So,
tell us how it is.
Thanks, man. Seriously,
Thank you so much.
We don't really end now. We just kind of just chill and talk. And dude, thanks, brother.
Nice. Oh, I get.
Thanks for being here. He got a fist bump. I was like, I'm.
Well,
formal.
I can't.
I don't know how to.
It's kind of
we have
like
stuff.
I'm awkward.
Yeah.
I didn't know if I was supposed to.
Well, like we have a better like angle to do it because it's like a space. We have this.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like it's easier to do the fist bump rather than try to go for a high
next
five, which might
time
accidentally
I'll
knock
do the
something
TIE
over.
Fighter. You go for the fist bump and then you just go TIE Fighter. Yeah.
Make an awful screeching noise.
Okay,
thank you.
you.
Don't know the TIE Fighter.
Oh my God.
Man, there's a million things out there. It doesn't matter.
We'll
at this
show
point.
you. Anyways,
I am into it.
thank you guys so much for
all for
joining us
listening.
on this bonus round.
I'm sorry that I'm me.
No.
I'm also sorry you're you.
Yeah,
bye,
I'm learning,
everybody.
don't ever apologize. Just say thanks for putting up with me.
Don't even say that. Just be like,
don't
it's
apologize.
Me.
Just
it's
thanks.
me. You know you love me.
Yeah, you got into this mess.
That's true.
You knew I was here.
Yeah,
Yikes.
you
Okay.
invited me.
Bye,
right, peace out.
everybody.
Hi, I'm Patrick.
And I'm not.
I like axes. And I'm Zarius.
And we are Rad Theater, a D&D live play podcast. And by the way, theater is spelled the correct way. Threatre.
B-I-C-T-H.
Theatre. And don't forget to hashtag tell your friends.